Hello friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new here. My name is Jess, I'm the creator of Pink Rex, and today I wanted to go over a couple of different types of plant propagation media. I make videos on plants, video games, and lots more, so if you like that sort of content and you haven't done this already, please start a public bonfire with all of the doors in the like button's house. Also, please subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. That was dorky. The first thing that you probably think of when you think of plant propagation, or at least I know the first thing I thought of for a long time, was taking a big cutting of a golden pothos and just sticking it in a vase of water and putting it somewhere and waiting for it to do its thing. Pothos is great for that. Pothos is probably one of the best, easiest rooting plants that I can suggest to anybody who's just getting into houseplants. Another really good plant for water propagation is cuttings from snake plants, otherwise called sansevieria. This is the biggest one I have going right now. It has just this, obviously, like this super duper long leaf, and then it has this little bitty baby coming off there. And what's cool about these pups is you can actually break them off and just put the main stalk back in the water and it will have another pup. I don't want to do it. I'm scared. I'm nervous to do it while I'm filming. I feel like something's gonna go wrong. I'm getting water all over the desk. With snake plants, they all will start out kind of like this. I like to cut mine at an angle just to give them a little bit more surface area under the water. Snake plants actually take quite a while to root compared to like philodendrons or especially pothos. So water propagation, super common, relatively easy. Bright indirect light is key. The next method that a lot of people use is moistened sphagnum moss. This is just moistened sphagnum moss in a jar. I think this might have been for jam, but that works really well if you're looking for a little bit more control over the moisture surrounding the roots. And this is just a little heartleaf philodendron. It has been in here for probably 2 months, and all of these smaller leaves on top, all of these smaller leaves are new. So heartleaf philodendron is kind of like pothos in that it grows and grows and is crazy, crazy sauce. This is an Epipremnum albo cutting, Epipremnum pinnatum albo, if you're fancy. It was just 2 leaves and 1 little nub on these 3 stems that are in the moss. Some of the leaves are looking a little rough. I know that this one's white. I think it just sat too wet for a couple of days. I'm really excited about this guy. I think I'm actually going to move it to perlite just because you have a little bit more control with perlite, which is actually the next method of rooting that I'd like to talk about. So here I have one of the plants that I'm very excited to share with you. This is a few cuttings from the variegated ZZ plant that I split with Phil in my last video. It was just a ZZ that was tucked in with a whole bunch of other ZZs at Home Depot. It was $20. Probably hard to see from that angle, but if I go this way, you can see it's all relatively new growth on those leaves. I took a top cutting and then cut it in 3 pieces, and I'm really hoping that these guys are going to root a little bit faster since I tucked them in perlite rather than just trying to root them in water. Water, I would say, of the 3 methods is definitely the slowest, but it works best for some plants. And the other plant that I have rooting in perlite is this relatively enormous monstera leaf. This is actually a plant that I found at Lowe's for $25. I have a TikTok about that as well, and that TikTok actually did alarmingly well, so come over from TikTok and like my leaf. As a side note, this is the brand of sphagnum moss I use. I get it from Lowe's. It's like $5 per brick. There's not a lot of fillers. It's good quality stuff, and it's at a really good price. This is going to be the first look I've had at it since I put it in the perlite. It started off with just a little tiny nub of a aerial root that had just activated. So it's got all kinds of crazy roots that have wrapped around it there, and it's been in this pot for probably a month and a half, maybe a month. In between there, so not a super long time. I'm definitely late to meet up with my friend for yoga at this point. Now that that's good, I'm actually going to take this out. This is pretty nerve-wracking, I'm not gonna lie, because I had to go back and get it because it had this little variegated, oh my god. Oh, okay, that's that. I have not touched it since putting it in this perlite, so perlite is a great rooting media. 11 out of 10, perlite rooting. Would recommend rooting things in perlite. It is really stuck in here. It must have a lot of roots. Oh my gosh. That's kind of alarming. I'm not even gonna lie. We can let go. We can let go. Come on. Just gonna give her the old squoosharoo and see if I can get it to release from the sides of the pot here. This is insane. Let go. Ah, finally! Guys, look at how much. Okay, so obviously perlite is an excellent rooting medium for things like this that like a lot of air around their roots. They aeroids, 11 out of 10, 5,000 out of 10 recommend perlite for rooting things like monsteras, philodendrons, anything that likes a lot of drainage. I'm gonna have to untangle this when I'm not filming because, oh my goodness, it is a mess. The last rooting medium that I'd like to go over is leca. Leca stands for lightweight expanded clay aggregate. And a lot of hydroponics, semi-hydroponic situations use this for growing all kinds of things. It looks like Cocoa Puffs. Maybe I'm just hungry. I feel like it does. I feel like it looks like Cocoa Puffs. You tell me that if I gave you a bowl full of this with milk, you wouldn't think it was Cocoa Puffs. I mean, I would probably laugh if you tried to eat it. But this is just a little bit more aerated option, very similar to perlite. It does weigh a little bit more, so it helps to hold plants down. And I'm actually going to be moving my Monstera cutting that's in perlite now to leca. That will be in my next video. Lightweight expanded Cocoa Puffs. They're leca. But that's gonna do it for now, guys. If you got something out of today's video, please remember to start a public bonfire with all of the doors in the like button's house. Also, please subscribe to my channel and drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know your experiences with all the different types of rooting media. If you have any suggestions on how I can go about moving my Monstera to leca, because I am going to do that probably, if not today, then I'll do it tomorrow or tonight or something. I don't know, soon. If you'd like, you can go follow me on Instagram under pinkrex with 2 X's. I also have a ton of content over on TikTok, where again, my name is pinkrex with 2 X's. So whether I see you on one of the platforms I just listed or down in the comment section below, just know I really appreciate you being here, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Okay, thanks, bye. Yeah, I don't know if I'm just hungry. They really look like Cocoa Puffs.